I feel like for a first Rampage, it went really smooth, but it definitely didn't come without its obstacles. We were so busy with making sure the build was dialed that I personally muted all of the exterior energy around making history in the sport. There was basically 3 main ridges. On our way down, we picked the middle ridge straight out of the gate, and I could see some features being read. So originally I kept it somewhat simple and just tried to focus on having a top to bottom line. But then the tricky part that comes into play is that you're crisscrossing with other lines, with other people. I wouldn't want to go into this just on my own. So I also picked my diggers and my team because I wanted them to envision themselves doing that line and confirming that it was, you know, possible, realistic, and exciting to watch and ride. One element that was really important to me in my diggers crew is that I could see them be future Rampage riders, and I wanted them to carry that experience. I had Aiden Parrish, he's a local shredder from Utah, Jim Monroe out of the UK, and Kirsten Van Horn, who's a fellow BC rider. Now having a women's Rampage category, it was crucial to have a girl part of the team. A typical build day at Rampage, very early morning. Try to hammer as much as possible before the sun rises over the crest of the hill. And eventually make your way down the mountain where there's a bit more shade at the bottom. And then usually we'd end up joining other crews at the end of the day, which made for just lighter, more cheerful environment. The most stressful feature in my line would have been the triple threat drop linking into the top jump. The top jump was hard to gauge speed for, and going deep was terrifying because it was a really steep landing that was facing towards a canyon. As much as it was really hard to feel confident about it going well, I knew that the crew would put in more work if it was necessary. Looking at it as a whole was a very scary thing, trying to envision how it's gonna go. Your brain starts to like picture going way too fast and out of control.
Gentlemen, welcome RedBull Rampage 2024. Moments away from getting started. And let's hear for the Alpine City to hear you up top before the show.
Well, finals day was wild. I was intimidated by like the size of the event, Rampage, and the helicopter is there. But once you're about to drop in, you just have to like trust that the line was in the conditions it needed to be in for finals. And I was dropping in with full confidence. At the top start hut, it was all hype. It was all like, this moment is actually happening right now, and this is really special and really cool to watch. And Robin dropping in first was like the biggest hype, and had like shivers when every single one of the girls came through that. Once I rolled through the finish line, that felt insane to complete a Rampage run. I'm hyped to be able to go back to Rampage next year.